So today is Tuesday, November 4, 2025, and this is our mentor meeting. For the notes at the top, this is a season of overcoming. God permitted Satan to rule for a time, but that time is over. So it's time for us to overcome. We're not going to just uh, fight through. We're going to overcome. We're going to do away with it. Now, watch in the nations and in your life for a turning point. There's a point where you're gonna turn. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna change, have a mindset change. You're gonna see things differently. There's a turning point. So, Turning Point USA is really a prophetic title, a prophetic name. God will put his finger on your mindset, on your mindset of nations. How do we think about nations? So, these 3 years that we're in right now are at the turning point. So, things are going to happen. We got to be vigilant. So Halloween chains are breaking, meaning in the spiritual world, in the satanic world, Halloween chains are breaking. Poverty chains are breaking off. Yay! Infirmity is breaking off. And religious holdbacks from the last season are breaking. That means that religious spirit we talked about, it's breaking. What was interesting is Chuck Pierce shared about his China trip, and he talked about speaking to the underground churches in China. And it's even riskier now in Hong Kong since China took over Hong Kong. Hong Kong was much freer in religion, but now that China has taken over, they're putting the clamps on. And he said, realize that in the USA, we were on the verge of losing our freedom. All right, now there is a change happening in the Middle East. This was interesting. There were representatives from the church in Saudi Arabia, and they came to Glory of Zion, and they put on Chuck Pierce the garment of a Saudi prince, the robe, the headdress, and they were honoring him because that's how the Saudi princes are honored. So he said, he reminded us, he says, God called Abraham from the Ur of Chaldees to Canaan. So Abraham was in someplace out there in the desert, and God called him to come to Canaan and say, this is the promised land. Well, since then, things got messed up. So over the next 3 years, they're going to retrace the highway of Abraham from Chaldees down to Israel. Now, the nations will have a window of awakening to form the Lord's glory, form my glory. There's going to be, so we got to really watch so that we can see it happening. In the next 18 months, we will see glory or ordained come down and know him in a way as never before in the Middle East. Now, we already know this, that, with the whole Hamas thing and all that, this is the first time in centuries that Arab countries sat at the same table with Israel. That's historic. It has only been 2 years in Saudi Arabia when women now can drive and go out unaccompanied. So that is a change in their culture and it's happening. So that's pretty fast, if only now that's can happen. So decree, a new day has come in the Middle East. New day, things are going to shift. Things are changing. And the thing that's going to change is the resistance of the people to change. is going to change. There's a new mantle. Saudi Arabia will see a different glory in their midst. God said in the Bible that he would bless Ishmael, and that is happening now. All those centuries. Remember, he said Ishmael, which is a son of Hagar. And, here is me, you got Isaac and Ishmael, and God says, I will bless Ishmael. And Ishmael had 12 sons. And Ishmael also has 12 tribes, just like the 12 tribes of Jacob. So, but what did we see? So he says, now is the time that God is blessing Ishmael. So I pulled out my Bible map book. And I tried to find out where all these places were. And so all over there, you've got Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, all those countries, what we call the Middle East now, and Egypt. They all surround Jerusalem. They all surround Israel. And so this is what's happening because Israel stood alone for a long time, and all the other countries didn't want to cooperate with them at all. And so this is the first time that this is happening. And this is God's ordained time. Yes, Donald Trump has a lot to do with it. But it seems that God ordained Donald Trump as a Cyrus to pull this together, because nobody has been able to pull it together. It's because God ordained this time and this man to do it. It's not so much that, yeah, he's a great guy, but it's not his own thing. It's God is doing something in the Middle East. Okay, so that's the news in the Middle East. Watch the news in the Middle East. Watch what's going on. Who's saying what? Who is for? When I look at the map, okay, this is interesting. When you go to Acts on Pentecost Day and it lists all these people, the Medes and the they were all in Jerusalem, and they heard the gospel because they were speaking in tongues. That whole list, right? So I went to look up these people. Who were they? They were mostly from Iran. Because Iran was run over by tribes, and those tribes all settled from the Babylonian Empire. And it went all the way from Iran to China, Iran to Pakistan. So that whole section that we call the Middle East today has been affected. And they were there at Pentecost. I thought, I don't know what the connection is, but somehow there is a connection why those people groups were there at Pentecost in Jerusalem. So God's doing something. That's all I can say. All right, the next section called By Faith, I Choose to See What God is Doing. There are three kinds of people. There are those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who say, what happened? What kind of person are you? Okay, so say by faith, I see it. We have been so used to seeing what's now, or we see what was in the past. Oh, it used to look like this, and now it's okay, now it's better. Now it's looked like this. So now God is telling us, I want you to see further. I want you to see what it's going to look like in the future when your future becomes your present. So start seeing it. Say by faith, I see it. We are in the middle of something. We are beyond the beginning, at the end of the beginning. So I need to say, I choose to believe that God is in charge. It's just that stupid people are in control. But God is in charge. He's still in charge. Celebrate the first, showing even if the completion hasn't happened yet. The first of anything. So you got your first day in college, then you have to look forward and say, when I graduate, when I complete this course, this is what's going to happen. I have to look down the road. You got a new job. This is the first day on my new job. And it's going to be, and I have to look down the road where that job is taking me. So celebrate the first. We need to keep saying, I am wonderfully well and blessed and highly favored of the Lord. The favor of the Lord is upon us, but we don't remember it. We don't take advantage of it. So the Lord is now telling us when his favor is upon you, you need to grab it and you need to take advantage of it because that's what it's there for. It's for you. God will use people you don't like to get something done that he wants. And there was kind of a pointed thing saying, if you don't like Donald Trump, don't even think about it because God will use people who will do what God wants, whether they know it or not. So this whole thing about, well, he doesn't know God or he's not a Christian or he is a Christian or blah, blah, blah. And he was saying, no, that's not the point. The point, well, God will use somebody. He doesn't care whether you like him or you don't like him. God will use someone to do what God wants done. Now, we can look at that for ourselves. God will use you to get something done, whether or not people like you. Remember, we say, oh, well, people don't like me because if they don't like me because I'm such and so, and I didn't do it the way they like it. That's not the issue. The issue is God gave you an assignment. You are faithful to do it. And whether they like you, that's not an issue at all with God. God's issue is whether you are obedient to him. When you get favor, don't look at others who did not get favor because they won't like you. When you have favor on you, other people won't like you. As the word says, when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him. Okay, do you be at favor with the Lord. So Proverbs 16:13 says, ask for rain at a time for favor, of favor. Ask for it when you've got it. Sometimes we wait till we think, oh, we don't have it. And so we don't ask for it. Like he said, it's already raining. So ask for rain because you're establishing it and you're going to be able to look forward. So ask for whatever it is that you want, even if you already have some of it, even if it's already moving in your life. Ask for it. Keep asking for that favor. All right. Now, this time is a time of favor. Don't miss it by criticizing and having a bad attitude. This is very interesting. Quit criticizing other people. Quit criticizing yourself. I didn't do well, but I don't think, no. This is a time of favor. He's saying, quit criticizing and get rid of your bad attitude. You can be in the middle of a visitation, but not realize you're there. You thought it looked different. So if you're looking for what you thought it should look like, you're going to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Recognize the season you are in. there's a season, there's a appointed season, there's a preparation season, there's an execution season, there's a rest season. So start recognizing the season you're in. All right, the golden age of America is right now. Prophesy it, say it. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's the golden age right now. Get in on the party, accept who God is using. The reason they say it's the golden age right now is things are getting shifted. So this whole thing about bringing lawfulness back in the country, bringing getting law and order back in the country, weeding out fraud, weeding out poor money management, weeding out illegals, weeding out what do I want to say, anti-American groups. This is the golden age. So rather than saying, oh, it's such a mess now, and look what they're doing, look what ICE is doing, look forward. He says, look forward and see where that's taking you. When you're weeding your garden, don't just look at the weeds. You have to look at the future crop you're going to have, what's being planted, and how you're going to harvest that crop. Right now, you might be harvesting weeds, but don't just look at the weeds. Look at the crop that's going to be harvested. So that's what it means by looking forward. Now, favor does not work if you are not aware of it. Be aware. So you have to say, I am favored of the Lord. You have to say that so that you start being aware that you are favored. There is a thing called primed awareness. It's the buildup of something you will see. And the example that they gave was that Naomi kept telling Ruth, well, in Israel, we did this. In Israel, they have crops. And oh, well, Ruth never saw all that. But Naomi kept telling her and kept telling her, this is what it's like. This is what it's like. So when the time came to make the decision, Ruth says, you've been telling me all this wonderful stuff. That's where I'm going to go. And that's what it means by primed expectation. Listen for what the Lord's telling you through other people of where you're going. This is going to be exciting. You're going to be so glad you went there. You're going to be so useful. You're going to do all these wonderful things. You're going to meet all these wonderful people and look forward to that rather than saying, oh, well, this is so boring. Or I don't have the right contacts. No, you got to go the other way and say, the Lord is, I have the right contacts. I have the right connections. The door is going to open. Now, deliverance, he says, I have what you say I can have. We say that, Lord, you said that I can have perfect health, so I have it. Lord, you can say I'm going to be wealthy. I have it. Deliverance removes dignity. I thought that was interesting. Whenever you delivered from, no, back up. Many people don't get delivered because it's not dignified. What does that mean? You know, when deliverance comes, you have to let go of your inhibitions. And if I'm just, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want people to see me. I don't want, because it's not dignified, then deliverance, you either get dignity or you get deliverance. So you get to choose. You have to choose. Be persistent. Shameless persistence puts dignity aside. Press through. So the thoughts about, oh, what will people think about me? Oh, I just don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to. Okay, you have to put that aside. You can be nice. You can be pushy, and you can be nice. But sometimes you have to keep pushing. Use your favor. Now, here's how you use your favor. Be specific. Articulate what you want. Ask big. Get in line with what God has already done. If you ask for nothing in particular, you're going to get nothing in particular. All right, so be specific. Anything that God has done in the past, he can do it again. He made the lame to walk, he can do it again. He delivered the Syrophoenician's woman daughter, he can do it again. Anything he did in the past, he can do it again. Not just biblically, but if he healed somebody, you saw him heal somebody, he can do it again. All right, the realm of favor is waiting for you. That's a turnaround. We keep thinking, oh, I'm waiting for favor. When is it going to come to me? And he says, no, it's already there. It's waiting for you to walk into it. It's waiting for you to go grab it. So favor is waiting for you. All right. Persecution comes with favor. Persecution, this is that thing, but the favor is here, but the devil doesn't want you to have it. So he's going to try to keep you from getting to the favor. That's why you have to press through. And favor comes with challenges. Favor comes with persecution. And it's packaged with challenges. So we have to rise to the challenge. All right. So the golden age. We're in the golden age. Charlie Kirk's assassination opened the golden age package. He was a seed that fell into the ground. Don't wait for an awakening. It's here now. Favor is here now. Start to see it. Don't miss it. Shift from asking to receiving. We have spent all our time asking, oh Lord, please give me, please. Oh Lord, please do this, please do that. We're okay now. Shift from asking to receiving. I received the new job. I received the wealth that you have for me. I received the promotion. I received. Start receiving. All right. The new wine is in the cluster, which means be joined. A cluster of grapes, right? We're all grapes, but one grape by itself isn't very much. So the new wine, for us to get this new wine, we have to stick together. We're going to get crushed together. We're going to march together. That's the new wine. Don't pay attention to what you don't like. We're really good at it. I don't like this. Why did they do that? Okay, shift. Don't pay attention to what you don't like. Don't talk contrary to what you see. So this is faith has to talk, not what you see. Make the biggest request you can imagine. Make the step of faith into favor. So we have to change our mindset. Favor doesn't come to us. Oh, Lord, bring me favor. No. Now he's saying you step into favor. The favor is there. You got to step into it. So turn yourself around. Turn yourself around. Maybe it's been following. You got to turn around and you have to step into it. Use your favor. Write a list of what you want. We're going to go through that in a minute. Now, John 15 says, I am the true vine. You cannot bear fruit unless you stay attached to the vine. So, prosperity is not a matter of cleanliness. He says, you are already, in John 15, he says, you are already clean. My blood has washed you. I have cleansed you already. So the whole idea is, well, if I live a better life, if I have a cleaner this, my cleaner attitude, then it's going to make God happy. That's the religious spirit. You don't want that. he says, your prosperity isn't based on how clean you are. Being attached to the vine is what determines your prosperity. That means, how are you attached to Jesus? How are you attached to God? You can be clean, 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 and do everything right, but you're not attached to Jesus, then your prosperity will not come. If you remain, he says, if you remain in me and my words remain in you. So this is conditional. If you remain in me and if my words remain in you, you have to meet those conditions. Then ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. You will bear much fruit to the Father's glory, showing yourself to be my disciples. So being prosperous is a sign of being his disciple. So he says, keep the commands and remain in my love. That means remain. He says, greater love is no man giving himself for his friends. So forgiveness is the show of his love. He says, friends, if you do what I ask, so if you're obedient, I chose you and I appointed you to bear fruit. So whatever you ask, the Father will give. Okay, whatever you ask, the Father will give. So there are a couple of things. In a year of favor, right now we're in favor. So walk in the favor and ask. Learn to ask and be specific in your asking. So those of you online, grab a piece of paper and make some columns on your piece of paper. I don't know, maybe I don't know if I sent you. So there's a worksheet. Everybody get a worksheet. I think I sent it to you. So there are columns concerning wealth, health, relationships, opportunity, personal development, ownership, connections. So I just gave you some ideas. Everybody has a pen? Okay, I can get you a pen. I'm just getting your imagination set. Okay, wealth. Ask big, right? He just told us. Ask big. Be reasonable, though. Don't just say, I want a lot of money. Okay? Right now, I need I need this for rent. I need this for my expenses. I need this for, so whatever. Come up with your number. All right. Then in wealth, you can say, I ask that my wealth is going to work for me, that the wealth is going to multiply somehow, whether it's rental property, whether it's stocks and bonds, whether it's investments, whatever. The difference between being rich and wealthy is when you're rich, you work for your money. When you're wealthy, your money works for you. So what kind of wealth do you want? Health. Be specific. I want my kidneys to work. I want them healed. I want my whatever is wrong that you need healing. Instead of saying, oh, Lord, heal me. No, I'm going to walk into the favor. My health is going to walk into the favor of God. So be specific. Relationships. Be specific. I want my relationship with my son or daughter to be restored. I want us to be able to talk to each other. I want us to be able to share times, whatever. My mother, my in-laws, whatever. My boss. Okay. Opportunities. What kind of opportunities do you want? Someday I would like to shake hands with Donald Trump. That's an opportunity. If you want that, what other opportunities do you want? I just made that up. So you get an idea. Okay, in the bottom, personal development. I want to be able to sing. I want to be able to dance. I want to be able to play the piano. What else? I want to be able to write poetry. What kind of personal development do you want? Ownership. What do you want to own? I want to own a car, Lord. Not only do I want to own a car, and I want it to be this kind of car, and I want it to do this, and I want it to do that. You want to own a boat? You want to own a cabin in the hills? What? Connections. What kind of connections do you want? I want to be connected with people who are in the arts world. I want to be connected to people who are ballet dancers. I want to be connected to whatever. I'm just making stuff up. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time and write your specific list.